UFC fighters are today's gladiators, showcasing skill, heart, and discipline. In the Octagon, there are no easy paths to triumph. The UFC is where legends are created and warriors emerge. Every UFC bout is a test of determination, strategy, and toughness. UFC fighters embody the essence of perseverance, no matter the odds. In the UFC, the only boundaries are the ones you impose on yourself. The crowd's roar ignites the passion within every UFC fighter. The Octagon is the ultimate arena for the world's elite fighters. UFC is not just a sport, it's a lifestyle. Every punch, kick, and takedown in the UFC tells a story of dedication. The UFC pushes its fighters to their utmost limits. Respect in the UFC is earned through sweat, blood, and tears. UFC fighters are warriors who give everything in the Octagon. The thrill of victory and the pain of defeat are constants in the UFC. Every UFC fight is a chance to make history. The Octagon is where dreams come true and destinies are shaped. The UFC is a battleground where only the toughest prevail. Every UFC champion has a tale of perseverance and victory. The UFC exemplifies the human spirit's capacity to overcome challenges. In the UFC, every moment counts and every move is crucial. The journey to the top of the UFC is built on hard work and determination. UFC fighters train intensely to perform like champions. The Octagon is a place where ordinary individuals achieve extraordinary feats. In the UFC, it's not just about winning, it's about proving yourself. The UFC showcases combat in its purest form. UFC fighters inspire millions with their bravery and tenacity. The Octagon is where the fiercest competitors meet. In the UFC, there's no such thing as an easy match. Every UFC fight is a clash of styles, techniques, and determination. UFC fighters are masters of their craft, always evolving. The Octagon is a stage where the drama of combat unfolds. In the UFC, greatness is achieved through relentless effort. The UFC blends martial arts disciplines, creating an unpredictable sport. UFC fighters push human limits with every match. The Octagon demands respect, and those who step inside earn it. In the UFC, every fight is a battle of mind and body. UFC champions are made through talent, hard work, and mental toughness. The UFC is where warriors showcase their skills. UFC fighters relentlessly pursue greatness. The Octagon is a place where true champions shine. In the UFC, every setback sets up a comeback. UFC fighters epitomize dedication and resilience. The Octagon is a crucible where the strongest emerge victorious. In the UFC, there's no room for fear, only for bravery. UFC fighters are driven by a passion that outshines any obstacle. The UFC is a theater of war where strategy and skill dominate. In the Octagon, every fight is a chance to prove yourself. UFC fighters are modern-day gladiators on a global stage. The UFC represents the pursuit of excellence despite adversity. In the UFC, the journey is as vital as the destination, and every fighter's story reflects their spirit.